87% of enterprise breaches involve compromised credentials or AD exploitation. These aren't hypotheticals, they're your peers' incident reports. Your Active Directory isn't a defense, it's the skeleton key attackers are using right now. The hard part? You won't know until forensics reveals how long you've been inside. You're sitting in a board meeting. The CFO asks about your security posture. You list off the tools you've deployed: endpoint detection and response, next-gen firewalls, SIEM, threat intelligence feeds. The board nods, and in that moment, you believe you're protected. But here's what keeps CSO and CIO teams awake at night. That list of tools isn't actually telling you if you've been compromised. The external threat is concrete. Active Directory is the nervous system of every Windows enterprise. It controls access to everything: file shares, databases, email, applications, cloud resources. And attackers know this. They don't barge through the front door anymore. They get valid credentials. Maybe it's phishing, maybe it's a contractor's laptop that never patched. Maybe it's credential stuffing against a reused password. Once they have a foothold, Active Directory becomes their superhighway. They move laterally, they escalate privileges, they sit in your environment for months while your security team watches empty dashboards. The data confirms this. Dwell time for undetected breaches averages over 200 days. That's not a typo. Your attacker has 6 months to exfiltrate data, deploy ransomware, or set up persistence before anyone realizes they're there. And 63% of organizations discover the breach not through their own security tools, but through a third party, a law enforcement notification, a media report, a ransom note. This is the internal problem. It's not just the technical threat, it's the anxiety. You've spent millions on infrastructure, your team is working overtime. And despite all that, there's a nagging fear that at this very moment, someone unauthorized is reading emails in your executive inbox. That fear exists because it's rational. The tools you have are monitoring for active attacks. They're designed for detection after the compromise is already happening. But what about the dormant accounts? The privilege creep that happened 2 years ago when Jim got promoted but never had his old access removed? The service accounts that were created in 2019 and never touched again? Here's the philosophical problem underneath all of this. We built a security industry around the belief that more tools equal more security. We stack them like a medieval castle with more walls and more guards. But a castle is useless if the guards can't see the walls. And right now, most enterprises can't see their Active Directory. They can't tell you which accounts are actually in use. They can't track privilege changes in real time. They can't distinguish between normal behavior and lateral movement because they've never established a baseline of what normal actually looks like. So attackers exploit this. They use built-in Windows tools that don't trigger most EDR solutions because those tools are designed not to. They operate in the background noise of your Active Directory, knowing that your security team is drowning in alerts from every other system. The solution isn't another tool. It's visibility, real, continuous, forensic-grade visibility into who's accessing what, when, and how. It means knowing the current state of your Active Directory at any moment. It means understanding the blast radius of every account and every privilege. It means being able to answer the question that keeps you up at night. Do we have a compromise right now, today? This is where managed identity resilience changes the equation. Instead of assuming trust and detecting betrayal after the fact, managed identity resilience gives you the ability to audit Active Directory continuously, to establish baselines of normal behavior, to spot the anomalies that your other tools miss, to know, not to hope. The metrics matter here. Organizations using behavioral analytics on their Active Directory catch compromises 40% faster on average. They identify dormant accounts and remove them, reducing their attack surface. They enforce least privilege not as a policy document, but as an enforced reality. And most importantly, they know. You don't have to wait for the forensics call. You don't have to face the board and admit you've been breached for months. You can know, and knowing changes everything about how you run your security program. The scary statistic isn't that 87% of breaches involve AD exploitation. It's that the average discovery time is still measured in months. That means most enterprises still don't know. They're still operating in that gap where the attacker has access and the security team hasn't realized it yet. Your peers have been compromised. Some of them still don't know. Don't be one of them. Get a free breach likelihood assessment for your organization. Managed Identity Resilience will analyze your Active Directory configuration and give you a clear picture of where you actually stand, not where you think you stand. Because in security, the gap between assumption and reality is where breaches live.